Hello and welcome to episode 203 of the Arena Regulars podcast. I'm Zach,
And I'm Jeff.
and we're your source for drunken Magic the Gathering arena content.
That's right, just a couple of regular guys drinking some irregular beers and talking
hmm
about Magic the Gathering. In particular, the online client MTG Arena.
That is right, and more in particular, we're talking about limited for Edge of Eternities, draft and sealed, because we got lots of stuff to talk about. It's been a week since the format has come out, so new exciting cards
Has it
and
only been a week,
things.
man? I feel like I've been
Yeah, a week
planning
and a
this
couple
format.
days. I know. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But anyway, each week we bring a beer, we drink it, we rate it on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. So with that, Jeff, what is on tap this week?
All right, this is one I'm super excited for. It's been in my fridge for a long
Yes.
time, and I'm like, I want to drink that,
hmm
but I know I probably shouldn't. Uh, and so, for people who have listened to the last few episodes,
hmm
a handful of them, we've had this brewery that we've tried a few beers from called Steadfast. And correct me if I'm wrong, but everything we've tried for them has been strange in one form or another.
I think a lot of them were strange, but not all of them. We've had some like
Okay,
normal
we did
ones.
like a more typical
Yeah,
IPA
yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
but
yeah.
what really blew me away from Steadfast is that they made beers that I've traditionally hated and I've liked them. So the
hmm
maple beer, the beer with chili in it. And what we have today is them making a normal beer that
hmm
is my favorite style of beer, which is an amber ale.
Yes.
And so I want to see if they can do just good classic styles as well as they can do super weird
hmm
maple chili beers.
Funky stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited as well because I haven't tried this one either. I also want to say this label, it feels so nice. There's like
It
a
does feel nice. I was gonna
there's
say that too. It has
there's
like grip,
yeah,
you know?
there's something about it. It has I don't know if that's like it's almost like
There's some
football
sort of
or
texture. Yeah.
basketball almost dots on it, but it makes it easy to hold, Like you
Yeah.
you stick your hand in the cooler trying to grab something and nothing slip like your hand is gripped to this thing. Like
These
it's
guys
not
thought
slipping
of
out of your hand.
everything.
They really did.
Oh, and that's what I wanted to say too is they describe this beer as a malt forward ale with a full biscuit bready body balanced with mild bitterness, light hop aroma. Exactly what an amber should be. So I was
Yes.
happy to see that description. It's not like super hopped with something weird and like a
Yeah,
thin
and try
body.
to
It's like
be,
that's not an
oh,
amber.
yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we're doing this style, but with a twist. Like
Yeah.
there's like everything's got a twist
Mm-mm.
these days.
Yeah.
No,
No twist. Just
mm-mm.
make a good one.
Just make it
So
the way it
I'm
should be.
excited.
I'm excited as well. So with that, Jeff, let's crack it open and get going in this episode. I'm excited.
Exciting beer for an exciting topic.
Yeah, that's right. All right, with that, we do have some magic news. It is the month. I think we should just deem this the month. August is the month of Edge of Eternity's limited competitive events. Very
Oh
exciting
yeah.
stuff. This weekend is the Arena Direct event. If you'd like to win IRL real Magic cards, you can. In an event that's happening this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can play for a collector booster box. And then the weekend after that is the Arena Open, where you fight to get $2,000 in real cash money. And the weekend after that is the qualifier weekend, which is also Edge of Eternity's Limited. So, really
Don't forget,
exciting.
Zach, you can earn an invite to that qualifier weekend in the Arena Open
That is
if
right. Yes.
you do well enough.
If you do well enough in that, as well as there's all the play-in events to get you into the qualifier, one a week before and then one the day before. All really, really exciting things. But something I didn't know that was happening that is competitive Magic,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
but not competitive limited Magic. Unfortunately, I would be really happy if it was, but it's constructed. Boo. Is
Hey, Constructed's cool too, but I
all
like
right.
the blend. I like it when it's both.
Okay. I was trying to, I was doing something here, Jeff. I was giving us a whole limited month. That's what I'm
I
trying to
don't
go
care. You
for.
can't come after my boy like that.
All
Constructed,
right.
I
Yeah.
got you.
It's even standard too, so it's not even like something
Oh,
else. It
great.
is actually
You're
a
ripping on
standard.
standard? What's the matter with you? Just
Standard.
out of rotations? Perfect.
I know, but I do have some gripes about this because the Arena Championship number 9 is happening this weekend, the 9th and the 10th of August. Um, did you know this was happening, Jeff?
Only because when I logged into the client, it said Arena Championship happening on the 9th or whatever. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I guess it's
All
happening
right. I guess
this
that's going
weekend.
on. Do you know want to like the reason why I'm so ticked off about this or like confused is because I'm sure that the competitors also had a
Oh,
very similar experience to us like finding this out because so it was officially announced Monday with the regular thing August 4th. They're like, "Hey, we do have our arena events." They announced that it's the arena championship. 1 week prior, when they put out the announcements, there's a thing that said arena championship, like stay tuned for when it's going to be because we don't know yet. What the
wild.
hell is that?
How little do they care about this event?
They do
It's gonna
not
be
care
fun
at
though.
all.
It's a brand new standard format,
Yeah.
which I guess these guys are just like preparing for it, knowing it could happen at any minute.
How
Right?
are you
Like I
supposed to
gotta
just
be
like get
jamming
your weekend
standards.
off? Like I guess like most people have their weekends like not booked or whatever, but like come on, that's a ridiculous. Either like either the
It's a
actual
little tight.
announcements
It's a little
because
tight.
there is an article that brings you to magic.gg that's like the viewer's guide for the arena championship and that article has been dated July 21st. So that one
Mm,
was out like a few weeks before.
right.
But did they just go and change the dates on it? Like on the in the article, did it just say TBD? Or did the person who
Right.
made the thing I just didn't bother checking because I thought that if the article said we don't know yet, they would like nobody would know. But for whatever
If it
reason,
was scheduled and like set in stone, they would just tell you when it was, right?
I would think so, unless they're just like, I just don't know. We'll figure it out. So
I
that
can't be
was
bothered to ask somebody else when this
yeah.
is.
It gives me pause. Is all I'm saying. Is that like
I wonder if they sent the players like, here are 2 or 3 weekends that it could be.
yeah,
Like
but what a
these are the
ridiculous.
openings, and you know,
Just pick a thing. I don't know. It
at
just,
very least, I hope they did that.
but like, they're gonna be like, oh well, the attendance is really low because people don't like watching arena tournaments. It's like, nobody knew this was happening.
Yeah,
Um.
it,
Anyway,
it's
uh,
self-fulfilling prophecy at that point.
exactly. It's just a classic. Like, see, I told you it doesn't work. It's like, yeah, because you tanked it on purpose. Um.
Just didn't market it,
Yeah.
so I don't
At
know how you
all. So
expected anyone to watch it.
nobody knows. Anyway, it's a 37 person tournament. So quite small. And it's the same thing that they did the last arena championship where it's like day two is like the top 16 players in a single elimination uh, battle royale kind of thing.
Hmm.
So kind of interesting stuff, but check out new standard in this tournament. Seems cool. I'm happy that it's happening. I just wish that I could have been of things that I want to know in advance. Tournaments are one of the things I'd like to know a little bit more in advance. Getting a bunch of Spider-Man spoilers during pre-release weekend for Edge of Eternities, not something I need. I don't need to see
Not
that
a
in
priority
advance.
for me.
No,
I
no, no,
didn't
no.
even look at them. I don't care.
Yeah, I did because people kept asking me about them, or
Right.
or showing me, or being like, "Oh, what do you think about this thing?" I'm like, I guess I have to look at it to tell you. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Spider-Man again. I feel like we did that last week. Let's talk.
Yeah, every time. Just, look at Spider-Man.
It's like the Harry Potter thing all over again.
Oh
Where
yeah.
like in our early episodes, we used to just randomly talk about Harry Potter constantly. I don't know why it kept happening, but it would just come up all the time. And it wasn't because of Strixhaven. It was just that just happened. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's talk Edge of Eternities.
Okay, let's do it.
So before we dive in, because
Yes.
Zach always prepares these beautiful show notes, and when we
Hmm.
do this episode, I know that he puts the 17 lands results there, or at least you order them usually by the end of the day.
I yeah. So basically, 17 Lands is a website that takes track of people's data. Usually, more in franchise players that play a lot of limited Magic, but it takes their arena data and then can kind of give you a picture of what the limited format looks like. And one of the things that it will do is be able to tell you what two color archetypes are performing better than others. And there's a percentage on win rates for all that kind of stuff. So I put them in order so it's easy to look at, basically.
Yeah. So I usually don't look at these before the episode, and then I'll look at them, the 17 lands results, like day of and
Okay.
in my prep. I have still not looked at them
Ooh.
because I was like, maybe we just do this live. Maybe I just like on air, I say what I think the good decks are and what I've been having success with. And then you say, Jeff, you're a total idiot. That
Mhm.
color is terrible. I can't believe you're winning with it. So
Well,
I have a. I
I
almost want to share a screen because I have a document here that is.
ooh, okay.
I wrote them down ahead of time,
All right.
and my
I did.
plan was.
Did you really, or are you just making that up? I'm just kidding. I that's
I'm
what you
pulling
say
a
to me
Zach
all the
here.
time.
I
Yeah.
like go to 17 lands. I just copy pasted it over. I was like,
Hmm.
I think that red black has a
Yeah.
57.3%. Um, based on the few games that I have. I'm guessing it's
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I was gonna do a full tier list, like 1 to 10, because we
Wow.
talked last week about how hard it is to do that kind of
It's
stuff. And
so
when you're
hard.
actually putting pencil to paper, like it's
Hmm.
easy to be like, oh yeah, I knew that was the best deck after you see the results.
Yes.
But it's hard to do it before.
It's so hard.
And I literally just couldn't do it. I was like, I don't know. So I just did. I have a little document. I want to share screen here because it just says
Yeah.
love, mid, hate.
Hmm.
So let me share. I can't.
Okay.
You disabled
All
it.
right.
I will paste it in the chat for you to see.
Okay.
This was my document. So the decks I like
Hmm.
in no particular order because I couldn't do the order.
Hmm.
I couldn't decide, man.
Yeah.
Uh, but my sealed event and my first few drafts were all Simic, and I was
Hmm.
like every time I was just picking Simic cards and nobody else was taking them, and I was like this deck rocks my socks.
Hmm.
And then as the format progressed, I think maybe people think those cards are good, and so I started playing green white because nobody
Hmm.
was taking that shit either. And then I don't know how good blue black is, but I like it.
Hmm.
Maybe this is one of the ones that's like I just kind of like this deck. And then I put green red here because I've never actually drafted it,
Hmm.
but I have gotten stomped by it a couple of times.
Hmm.
So I'm like, meh. So I literally wrote green white, blue black, and maybe green red, I don't know, for
Yeah.
love.
Okay.
For my mid decks, I put red black, which kind of pains me to do because when the red black deck comes together, I really like it. But
Hmm.
it's just like it asks so much of you.
Yeah.
And then same thing with blue red,
Hmm.
white black, pretty much the same thing. Like these are all if they come together, I really like them, but when they don't, they're so bad.
Hmm.
And then I put maybe green black. I don't know. Same thing again. I've never drafted it, and I almost never play against it. So
Hmm.
I was like, it's either mid or it's bad. And I just put it here because like I don't think I've seen anyone play this deck. I don't think I've ever played this deck. I think I have like 10, at least 10 drafts under my belt, and I can't remember. Like, I'm sure I played against it at some point. I certainly didn't draft it, but I'm sure I played against it. I just don't actually remember. So,
Yeah.
uh, green black is like a weird, complete, I don't know anything about it.
Hmm.
And then the decks I really hate, and I thought of you when I put this first one down. Blue white. Fuck this deck. I I've never seen a good version of it. I did
Hmm.
draft this once, and it was a fucking train wreck. It was my only like really bad draft, and hated everything about it. And then red white. I think maybe this one a little bit was. I always want red white to be good, so when it's not that good, I
It
really
just feels
hate
horrible.
it.
It feels.
How could
It,
you be so bad?
it also seems like a lot of the times red white is either near the top or horrible.
Yeah,
It
it
does
it doesn't do the middle thing very well. And
because
I
it's either
don't think
like
it's at the top.
yeah.
So I put it
Well,
in hate.
overall, I think you did a really good job. I will have to say.
I did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you like correctly identified that green blue is performing the best among
Oh, green blue's best. Okay.
all
I think
users.
if push came to shove, that's what I would have picked.
Hmm.
But I wasn't sure between green white actually and green blue.
So green blue is doing very well. It is a
Let me
kind of its
look.
own piece above some of the other ones. And I decided this time to split our findings between the data from all users and top users, which we don't normally do when we're looking at all of this stuff. But the reason I did that is because it does shake up some of the.
Hmm.
It moves a couple of them around, and it feels
Look at the
closer.
difference in win rates, eh?
Yeah, the win rates change a lot by a few percentage points. For
Yeah, like a
example,
solid 4 or 5%
yeah, the
difference.
best deck, green blue, is at 57.3%, but the top users it's 61.5%. So a huge jump. But the trends are basically like the grouping of green decks for all users are better than the rest. So green blue, red green,
Yeah.
and green white. I definitely had green white as one of my best decks
It's the deck I've
because
drafted the most and probably had the most actual success with, but I had
yeah.
so much. I think I was worried about green blue because I was like, is it just because the first 2 or 3 events I did all went really well and I was green
Mhm.
blue and so I'm biased, but I guess it's just good.
I think it's good, and one of the big reasons I think it's good is because I think going wide is strong.
Hmm.
Because contrary to what I was hoping with my common picks, um, removal spells in general are not all fantastic. Like when you're spending 4 mana to kill like a 2 drop or something, that's obviously not great. But having a bunch of tokens around is helpful, and white obviously is great at doing that with night luminary. might be one of the reasons why
I love
that's
that
good.
card.
It's so good. I love it.
I'm glad I checked it in there. Uh,
It's
I
what a
wish
card.
I'd pulled the trigger on picking it over Banishing Light, but
Yeah.
uh,
Anyway, great
uh,
card. But I've been seeing that a little bit more. Green red has been kind of scary as far as like landfall-y stuff, but honestly, just like aggressive green red stuff is a little bit more of the vibe, and then
yeah.
landfall just sprinkles in some I don't know some extra value, but it's
I think
not
looking at
like
these results, red green's one of the interesting ones because it's the
mhm.
second best deck all users, but it's super mid pack among top users.
Yeah. Well, one of the big things between the top users and all users is that the blue decks go up a lot in top users. All the
Yeah.
top 4 decks for the top users are, or sorry, 3 of the top 4 are blue decks, as opposed to for all users, only one of the top 4 is blue.
This brings me to a very important point that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about on this show. Now that we're talking about blue decks, how do we feel about Cryogen Relic?
Cryogen Relic's so good. It is for sure the best. It's
I
like
actually
the
think it's the best common in the set.
I think it
That's
is the
where I
best
have
comment.
it.
It is, and well, I've already looked at the card data, so
Oh, is
it
it
is.
statistically the best? I was wondering
Uh,
if the green one is the best just because green is so good.
those are the two best ones. Is Cryogen Relic and then Galactic Wayfarer are right behind it.
Yeah.
So you sniped both of those. I only got one of those right, and my Cryo Shatter is not terrible. It's just blue is also quite
It's
strong.
good. I like it.
So
But
it's no.
Cryogen Relic, this was one of those ones where I was like, oh, it's a little risky, and it totally hit. It was like,
Yes,
this
it
deck is
hits.
good in everything. It's good in every blue deck.
It's such a good card, and it's the one that you need to pick early. You have to pick Cryogen
Mhm.
Relic really early because you won't see
I
them.
never see it. I
No,
never see it.
no. Like you will have. I've had so many decks where I'm like, okay, this deck is going to come together. All I need is like 2 Cryogen Relics, and then you just can't
Good
find them.
luck. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that happens a lot. It's really brutal. So damn, Cryogen Relic, really strong card. But strangely, I think to me the biggest surprise in this entire list was that Blue Red has been doing so poorly.
Okay. For me,
So
the surprise is that white blue doesn't suck as much as I think I thought it did.
White Blue seems to be fit in a spot that I was kind of like assuming, which is like middle of the pack. Um, and I think it's
I think I literally would have put
mostly
it as the worst deck, maybe the second worst deck.
yeah.
It's been so bad for me.
I I have lost to a couple of those decks, but I also think that it's interesting because some of the cards I really like in the white blue deck often just fit in other decks too, just because the synergies are so They're so
Yeah,
ubiquitous
we'll
with
touch on
their
that a bit later, I think,
yeah.
but that's a big part of this format, I think,
Hmm.
is like pivoting in the draft is a very real thing because there's
Yeah,
so much overlap between archetypes
there
in
totally
what
is.
cards you're trying to pick.
I think Wizards is doing a really great job because like Final Fantasy was a home run slam dunk format. That was amazing. This
It's
one,
very good, yeah.
I don't feel like there's any deck where like you're dead in the water. But because like I have been run over by Boros decks. Now that was earlier in the format. Obviously, we're in a weekend, and I haven't seen Boros nearly as much. But
Yeah.
every once in a while, if you have the right combination of stuff, you can still beat the crap out of people. It just depends on what red white cards you're taking, right? Like sometimes you feel like you're red white beat down deck, but really you should be doing something else or a little bit. The deck is less like turn everything sideways attacking. It's like sometimes, all right, which creatures are attacking, which ones are just crewing. I do have to spend all my time just doing that instead. I have some weird synergy stuff too, and putting counters on things so that you can tap the perfect number of creatures, like always only tapping two to do certain stuff.
Right.
It's more finicky than most of the time. And I think that could be a lot of players just playing it like a regular Boros beatdown. And I think there's a lot more finesse to that deck. It's a little bit harder to pilot than in previous iterations.
Yeah. So here it's like, it's debatable based on these two lists whether
Hmm.
red white is the worst or black green is the worst.
Yeah.
A little surprised that black green is so bad because I put it mid tier because I was like green is the best color, I think, for sure.
Hmm.
And black seems fine. So I was like, don't isn't this just going to win games based on having better cards than the opponent like some amount of the time? But
Yes. But I also think that
like I get that the synergy is lame, but
I think that's the biggest thing is that the synergy kind of just isn't there. There's a couple of cards that scream black green, and there's just not a ton of payoffs for it specifically. Like, um, most of the time when black green is really good, it's because you get to do the whole like reanimation thing, like mill reanimate stuff. Like when we were playing it in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, that
Mhm.
was a really really big deal, right? Was there were like two or three reanimation spells in the set, and you're constantly trying to get things into the yard so you can like have all these giant beefy creatures.
Right.
But for this actual deck, like you do have like your uncommon is like the reanimation guy.
Yeah.
That's helpful, but I don't think I've ever really seen him either hit the battlefield or do much of anything. And
I don't know if
then
I've ever seen it. Yeah.
a lot of your big beefy targets, there aren't a ton of like we don't have as many crazy bombs, I feel like, than like there were
Yeah.
some good
Something I just
cards.
thought of too
Hmm.
was uh Dauntless Scrapbot is a very good card in this format.
It is.
And it just kind of incidentally hoses that deck, I guess. Like,
Yes,
like
you're
you're not
right.
playing it for that line of text,
Hmm.
but I guess it's like fuck you, green, black in particular.
Yes.
Like I'm
No,
playing it as a sort of un colorless, so I don't want to say a poor man's version, but
Galactic Wayfarer, but
it's
it
a
is.
poor man's Galactic Wayfarer
Hmm.
that goes in any deck. And then just like randomly, like, hey, fuck you, Reanimator deck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that text is stapled on there, but it is. And so,
I
like,
mean,
to me, this card's a pretty high pick because it's relevant in almost every archetype and it's colorless. So,
yeah, exactly. Like everybody likes having lander tokens, and
mhm. And
you
like
could.
makes two artifacts for any of
Hmm.
the art decks that care about that.
Hmm.
Um, you know, for like if the deck it's worst in is probably green white and it's still fine
Hmm.
there. Like
Yeah,
you're not upset.
totally. So yeah, I don't know. I also just wonder how many cards we really love, like actually reanimating with this. Like there's a couple things that are sweet. Like you'd love a Glacial Godmaw, or there's some rares and things. But ultimately, I think like when I'm thinking about green black, I do often think about Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and a lot of it was there were so many bombs in that set. That set had like a bunch
Right.
of shit. You could splash really easily, where in this set you can't. I don't think you can splash as easily as you can in a lot of other sets, just because we don't have a common land cycle. And
Yeah.
like, yes, we
I,
have lander tokens, but then you have to get those out first, and it costs more mana to get your splashes, as opposed to just straight ramping. I had like this was a question that was posed to me early on, which was if you were playing like a lander deck, or if you have a bunch of like I don't know a few pieces of lander, are you just like obligated to splash? Like I remember somebody asked me that early, and I was like, absolutely not.
nope.
That is not how I feel at all, because I don't want to be. I don't want to have to. I don't think that doing the lander thing for splashing is what you should be doing. You can use the lander tokens for so many different things. Pigeonholing yourself into I have to crack this so I can get my lands to cast my spells is like the worst thing you want, right? You either want to be skipping
Yeah.
turns by ramping or sacrificing it for other value. Like it just seems being like, oh well, I have to crack this to get my white splash just sounds like something I don't love.
I've tried it and it was fine.
Yeah.
So I played, what was that deck? It was green, blue, and then I was splashing that ridiculous bomb rare that you picked as your like the Cosma something. It's
Oh,
like
Cosmo
whenever you
Grand
cast your
Zenith?
yeah, whenever you cast your second spell,
Oh, that
you
card's so good.
make yeah. So pick
Hmm.
pack three. I open that,
Um,
and I'm sitting there. I have like two or three Galactic Wayfarers in
mhm.
my pool. I have the Gene guy, um,
Oh yeah, Gene Morph. Wait,
Gene Pollinator,
Oh, gotcha.
a couple of Gene Pollinators, and I was like,
Right,
I
right,
could
right.
just play this,
Hmm.
and it was fine. But I think with that card in particular, it was like really awkward to set up the okay, I'm gonna play this and then play something else to trigger its.
Hmm.
It just it felt unnecessary. The deck was so good that it didn't really matter. Like this was very early format, and like
Yeah, and it.
having a dead card in my hand didn't lose me many games.
Yeah,
But I was just like,
but
I don't know if I'm doing that again. Like,
I don't
I don't
think
know
you
about
should.
splashing.
I think splashing is just not a good. I just don't think you should be splashing this set.
Because lander
Uh,
tokens are great, but they're clunky. And I
they
didn't want to
are.
feel like I have to go get a planes and like I have to take my turn to crack this lander token to go get planes. Like one of the nice
Yeah,
things about lander tokens is they just sit there and you can
and
tap your gene pollinator and your lander
mhm,
token. You can
exactly.
tap your, like you can
You
just
can
use it.
you
And
can
then
sacrifice it to different things. You can trigger your void because of it. You can. There's so many different things that you can do
yeah, I
with that.
usually want to just leave them on the battlefield if
Yeah,
I have land, unless I'm specifically ramping into something. Like I just kind
yeah.
of want to have them there.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm even looking at a bunch of the rares that seem like, oh man, this is a sweet bomb or whatever. A ton of them are double colored. Like, you just don't want to be splashing all these double colored rares. I don't know. There's been a
Honestly,
couple times.
it's not a, maybe we get that out of the way here. This is not a Prince format. To me,
This it
it's a
does not feel.
quintessential popper format.
It
Like,
feels extremely poppery to me. There are
yeah,
definitely cards that like, whoa, that's awesome. But like,
sure.
and I've had some amazing things, but most of the time my huge bombs were just like I drew a bunch of cards. So now
Yeah.
like it wasn't like,
And
oh,
there's a
deal
lot
with
of
this threat.
removal, so a lot of the
Yeah.
bombs are like,
Well, if they're just
sometimes
like
my opponent plays Elegy Acolyte, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? That
mhm,
doesn't seem fair. But,
yeah,
most of the time, it's manageable.
exactly. Like there have been a couple drafts, actually several drafts where I open Quantum Riddler pack 3
Mm.
when I'm not blue. And
Of
Quantum
course.
Riddler's like, a great Sphinx card that would be awesome, but like I don't really want to try to double splash this thing.
Now,
And I don't, unless you happen to have picked up a bunch of like shocklands randomly, I don't think that you should be doing that. And a lot of the like it's just so hard to do it. I just am pushing so much more to I don't want to splash compared to other sets where it's like, oh, you kind of have to splash, or like it's just trivial. It's like so easy, which makes
Might
it
as
kind of
well.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, just take
I
everything.
actually think this isn't a splash format, but you
Hmm.
actually can play three color decks. Like if you're gonna do it, you just do it.
Hmm.
The So I think the thing to get out of the way here, and I've been really enjoying this format, and it's a
Hmm.
little strange because this is for sure a slow format.
Yes.
By the modern classification of
Hmm.
formats, this is slow. You can still get run over, happens,
Yeah.
but like this is about as slow as it's going to get in a modern day
Hmm.
limited set. And that makes sense. Every mechanic incentivizes long-term planning
Hmm.
and not curving out. And
Yes.
so I think it's a little bit of a mind shift for me because early in the format, I was like, limited is just about curving out. At
Hmm.
least modern day limited has often just been
Curve out. Yep.
whoever curves out better has the upper hand. And then let's see if we can
Hmm.
translate that into victory. And now it's really about like long term. When am I going to warp this? When am I going to
Hmm.
play this spacecraft? When am I going to station it? When am I going to
Hmm.
attack? And it feels very much about power and toughness to me, which I
Hmm.
love. Like, we always talk about core set limited is so good because
Exactly.
it's just a bunch of
Numbers.
2/3, right?
Hmm.
And
This
who's
set,
gonna command their 2/3s better? Here we go, another set that
there's so
is
many.
insanely complex, but it's
Hmm.
still at its core just about a bunch of 2/3s.
Oh,
And
at its
who's gonna
core
use them?
set, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, who's gonna use those 2/3s better?
Yeah,
Um,
but even
So yeah,
like,
I guess like big picture stuff, this is
hmm,
slow. It
yes,
rewards planning out how you're going to deploy your hand over not even like the next turn or two. Like we're
no, it's like
talking
the
three, four
game.
turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like look at your opening hand and see what is going to happen over the course of this game.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's awesome and a nice change of pace.
Hmm.
But it does mean like you don't have to prioritize some of the things you normally would quite as much. And I think the old like just kind of raw dogging a three color deck with a few lander tokens is fine. At the start of the format, I kept losing to that shit, and I was like, "What is this? This is bullshit." This guy's playing like a 6/6/5 mana base.
Hmm.
Honestly, you could do it though because like you probably want to be base green. Don't do it if you're not
Yes,
green.
that's what I was gonna say
Um,
for sure. Be base green, and you do have to focus on doing it. I am still telling you don't do it. I'm gonna say don't do it, but you can listen
I
to
mean,
whichever podcast host you want. And
if you're anything
I
like me, you always have like three galactic wayfarers in your pool, so it's totally fine.
It's a
But
yeah, maybe a little bit easier. But the one thing I will say with if you are trying to do any of those things, and this is very normal limited stuff, but like have your base colors at the bottom of your curve, and then the extra color that you're trying to play be at the top. Don't be like throwing in red so you can splash some plasma bolts or something. I don't think that
oh,
that's
never do that. Yeah.
like you need a different reason to be in that color, and splashing for like removal that isn't like splashing for banishing light is different than splashing for plasma bolt, right? They both look
Mhm.
like removal spells, but like I know this is very simple normal stuff, but sometimes it's helpful to remember like you just they're just it's so much more important to be able to, if you can't cast your splash color or whatever on time, that it actually is still worth playing later in the game. It just
Yeah.
it just
And
sucks
the
so
other
much.
thing is you can actually do five color. The way this I've seen this happen and I've done it once is you start out kind of green blue and you realize you just have six, seven, eight lander tokens
Hmm.
and you just get open some really strong cards. You just take them. Um, I I've seen that. I've lost to that and I've done really well with that. I think it's like a legitimate thing. My only question about it is like you're already in the best deck. So I think what
Yeah.
happens here is that it starts to it starts to evaporate. Like
Yes.
you started out green blue and
Hmm.
then those colors start to get cut
Right. And then
and
you're
you're like,
like,
what
how
do
do you
I
pivot?
do?
Yeah.
And I think you can pivot into this kind of five color monstrosity, assuming you were smart and picked your landers stuff early. I think
Hmm.
like to me, landers are the best mechanic in this format. I think it's why green is so strong,
Hmm.
is lander tokens. and they just do everything. They're artifacts for the artifacts decks, they're lands for the landfall decks. They help you just play the game of Magic.
They
They ramp
don't
you for the ramp
they
decks.
don't
Like
help you trigger your flurry cards. So, blue white.
that's why blue white sucks. That's that's my philosophy. It's
They
all
use
about
them the
landers.
worst. Yeah, whichever deck doesn't use
And
landers that
black
well.
green, I guess, doesn't use landers that well. So maybe that's why black green
Yeah,
is the
because black
worst
green's
green deck.
reanimation spell only wants to reanimate 5 drops, so it's like,
Black green almost doesn't want you to ramp because it's like, why am I reanimating something when I could just ramp into it? It's like, don't ramp.
yeah, yeah,
We'll reanimate it
exactly.
for
Or
two less mana. I'm like,
I
why
guess
can't
to
you
be
just play
fair,
blue and fucking ramp?
yeah, I guess that reanimation spell, like the scrounge for something,
Yeah,
you have to
I hate
sacrifice
that
an
card.
artifact or
I can't
something.
believe people play that card. Every time I've seen it, I'm like,
I
that was terrible.
I
Why
have
did you do
not
that?
played that card yet,
Yeah.
but
Why does
I
it have the five or like the max five rider? Like, would it really be too good if, anyways?
it really looks like it's supposed to be fitting in like a green white deck. That's what it's like. More, it's like, oh, green. Sorry, not green white. Sorry. Black
That
white.
makes no sense, but
Yeah. A black white deck because white already has the like, oh, bring all the cheap creatures back, and this is like, hey,
right.
bring back a slightly bigger creature. Because white has the reanimation card, right? It's the
Yeah.
rescue skiff that reanimates something. But anyway, Jeff, I did want to ask you, since you're talking about landers so much, how do you feel about Sammy's Curiosity, which is like the single green sorcery you gain
That's
to make a
a
lander?
great question. I don't play it.
Okay.
I've never played it. Maybe that is an error on my part, but I think you could just pick up landers naturally enough
That you don't need to play a
without sort
card.
of playing this card. I don't think the two life is as relevant as it would be in some formats because the format's very slow.
Yeah.
You don't often get run over. And I don't really want to do this. I don't want to do this on turn one and then lander on two and play a four drop. That doesn't sound that good to me. Like it's fine and that's the best case scenario, right? But I mean, what if I just play Biomech and Engineer on two?
Well, that
Isn't
card's
that just like miles better?
all right. Well, that's an uncommon. That's amazing. Like,
Okay, I do want to talk about this card though because I was razor close to picking this card for my
I know, Jeff.
uncommon.
So was I. Okay, I almost picked
And
it too. So,
but the reason I didn't is because I thought that activated ability was a one-time use.
oh, you
And I
thought it had.
still almost picked it.
You thought it
I
had.
was
What was that?
like activate only once.
No, the exhaust.
Sort of, but like some stuff will say you can only activate this ability one time, and
It's
they've been
true. It's
putting
true.
that on stuff recently, and my brain just like you can only do that once, and then I played against it, and my opponent did it every turn. I'm like, I
Yeah,
should have picked that card. That card's ridiculous.
that's because
I
this
almost
is
picked it thinking you could only do it one time.
Jeff, Biomech and Engineer. For those of you who don't know and who are listening, it's green blue for a 2/2 that when it enters, it makes a lander, and you can pay 8 mana to draw 2 cards and make a 2/2 robot. This is what you're ramping into. This is what you want to do. This is what the format is about, right? This is the
Yeah,
best
this ramps
uncommon.
and provides a reason to ramp.
Yeah. This is the best multicolored uncommon. And it is an early play
Not surprised.
that then obviously gives you a bunch of cards, but builds your board to be huge because that's what the format is about. Like,
And there's no way to be sad with this. Like,
no,
if they kill it, you got the lantern.
you got a
You're
lander
fine.
token. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only sad thing is that it's just a 2/2. And a lot of like these 2 mana, they're like a bunch of 2 mana 2/3s.
I know the two threes. Yeah.
Yeah. But they knew they had to pull this one back because it's
But they
so
have
strong.
to use a removal spell on it. I don't know. This card's nuts. And if I realized you could repeat that ability, I'm confident I would have taken it. But the first game that happened to me, I was literally just sitting there like, wait, no, you can
Yes.
do that every turn?
Yeah,
That's
Jeff,
fucked up.
that is exactly how I felt. And this is proof that I picked my things before I had played the set. Because one of the first games I played was against that card. And they also had the Moonlit Meditation on a bounce creature thing. And it was just like, oh, this card's like, all that other stuff was crazy. But just the fact that you ramped into just draw a bunch of cards and like, I feel bad killing it early because it's like, well, I don't want to kill this early because I might need
Yeah.
something else. But then late, now it doesn't even matter because it already happened. And then just get in your head like, I hate this. It just all
Yeah.
feels bad.
This fucking card.
No.
I even had this in my pre-release pool, and
Wow. And you
I
didn't
don't
play
even
it? Wow.
remember if
Can't
there
believe
was a
it.
game where I only activated it once. Yeah. No, I cut it. I cut it for my green blue deck. Yeah. It's a good plasma bolt target though. I'll say that.
It is a great
That
plasma
feels
bolt
okay.
target. Yeah. But man, ugh, buddy.
But yeah, so green blue is where you want to be. I think you just kind of want to be green. Um, I personally love the green white deck. I always just find myself in it. I think
Hmm.
other people undervalue some of the cards like that are good in it for some reason. And again, I don't know the win rates.
Hmm.
For some reason, people pass me, in my opinion, way too many atmospheric greenhouses. I don't know why this card keeps
Hmm.
just like flying at me and pick like five and shit. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, is this card not insane? Because every time I've cast it, it's been insane.
Just so you know, atmospheric greenhouse is the worst performing green uncommon.
There you go. So
like
that's surprising to me, but people keep passing it and I keep winning games with it. So I
like
mean, some of the other ones are like it's yeah, I would pick Godma over it.
of
I would
course.
pick
But
probably
like
would pick Close Encounter over it, but there's no way I'm taking Broodguard Elite over Atmospheric Greenhouse.
are you tapestry warden? Are you taking that over greenhouse? That's the 3/4 that cares about butts. It's the
No,
butts matter card. Yeah.
never.
And
I
it's
don't
like
understand that card and I
it's
never
like
take it because I'm like, why
4%.
is this card here?
Well, to be fair, that's a bad example because that card doesn't get put in a deck unless it actually does something. You're playing this with like the Lash Whip Predators and stuff, but
There's no way Tapestry Warden is better than Atmospheric Greenhouse in green and white. No.
let's see. I was looking at like all users, and even in top users, Atmosphere Greenhouse is still considered an F. Like it's
Really?
yeah.
That's crazy to me.
I don't know if it's just because it gets. I was about to say I don't know if it's because it gets overused, where people are like liking this way better than they should be. Like it's just being put in decks that are just losing a lot. But it also does the thing to me where it's like when you draw it without a board, it just feels awful. Because
Yeah,
obviously
it definitely
doesn't
has
do
that.
doesn't
Yeah.
do anything. Compared to like a card that I felt that people were passing a lot was Rayblade Trooper. I kept finding this card later. That's a white
Oh, that
card.
card's nuts though.
It's a 3 mana 2/2 that makes a puts a +1/+1 counter on something. And whenever a
Yeah,
creature with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you make a 1/1. And it has warp for one and
it
a
has
white.
warp. Yeah.
But like I felt like I kept seeing this card everywhere, where I was like, why are people passing me? Like I kept going into white because I was like, I keep seeing this
I
card.
ain't passing that card.
It's good.
Yeah.
Ugh, big fan of that. That's one of the ones that I like. Ugh, when I'm looking at like, okay, they played their turn two. I'm like, all right, well, as long as they don't play Rayblade. Oh god damn it, they just played it. Okay,
Whoops. Yeah.
never mind.
I also see a lot of All Fate Stalkers. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
think this card should be flying around, but
that card's amazing.
maybe.
It's
Yeah.
so well. The thing, okay, All Fate Stalker is really, really strong. And one of the reasons why I love it so much is because now that the format feels like it's turning into like a go wide tokeny thing, that like I often
Yeah.
am losing because I don't have enough blockers. All Fate Stalker gets to hit. It's like a 2 removal spell. Like
Hmm.
you warp it in, like get one, snag a robot or snag a 1/1,
Yeah, you can
and
get a
then you get to
token.
play it later. Or you just, it's
I
just so
like
nice.
just warping it to re-trigger my ETP.
Yeah,
Like you just hit you exile your own I don't know, Night Luminary.
yeah,
Just come
and you
back.
just
It
make
gets
another one.
another token. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that people really enjoy doing is this was part of what people were really excited to play this card in standard, where All Fate Stalker, obviously it's like an O-ring. You use the warp ability on one of your warped creatures, so you warp 2 things in a turn,
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the cutesy
I've
thing to
never
do.
lived that dream. I've thought of it, and
Hmm.
there's been turns where I could do it, but I'm like, I feel like it's just better to remove their blocker and smash face. But
That's how I've kind of felt as well, where it's like I don't
yeah,
really need to do this. But oh man, what a cool card. I really like
yeah.
Warp, I have to say. It's
Warp is
so
awesome, and the way they executed it is really well done. That is
it's
one thing I
so
wanted to bring up. Like they
mhm,
nailed it with Warp. They thought of a lot of really cool things to do
mhm,
with it. It's a super fun mechanic. The one thing I'll say is my brain, I still have an issue where when I'm planning, my brain thinks it's adventure. So it'll be
mhm.
like I'll have 6 mana and I'll drive Night Luminary. And I'm like,
Mhm.
perfect. I warp it and then I cast it. And I'm like,
Yeah, and
nope,
you
that's
nope,
not how that works.
that's not how that
Or like my
works.
Broodguard Elite, I'm like, okay, so
Mhm,
I'll put the counters right here and attack. I'm like,
mhm.
nope, that's not
Nope.
how you warp Broodguard Elite.
Mhm.
And I usually like now I'm like before I actually make the play, I'm like, wait, it's not
Okay.
how it works.
Yeah,
But it's
think
still
about
like
it.
the back of my brain is like, yeah, yeah, perfect. 6 mana, Night Luminary. You can make a bunch of shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I have to decide if I want the extra token from warping it, but it's delayed a turn to play the knight,
Yeah.
or if I just play the knight now, which I think is more
That
interesting.
I do think that that is super interesting, where you do draw your warp creature later, and you're like, all right, do I just play it? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, like, I think Codecracker Hound is a perfect example, where it's like,
Oh, card is so good.
Codecracker Hound is a 2 mana, sorry, it's a 3 mana 2/1 that you get to look at two cards, put one in your hand, one in your graveyard, but it warps for two and a blue, the same as
Yeah.
its casting cost. And
What
so
a
you,
well-designed card.
when you draw it, you're like, ah, if I warp it, I get two cards, but I do need a blocker or some kind of board presence. And it's turn three, and you're like, I guess I just play it. That's still a really good limited card, you know? And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you're like, okay, it's still really
Yeah,
strong.
sometimes I have to remind myself this, like,
Yeah.
this is still an awesome play. It's not like as much
As much.
value.
Yeah. And this is what I was learning when I was playing with Possibility Technician, the Kavu that does the similar thing, but
Yeah.
it's like warp two and then you play it for three. I had the same feeling where it's like, I want a board presence, but I also want two cards out of this. It's like,
Yeah.
just play it. Just play it.
Yeah. I my default would be warp it. Like
Hmm.
get because the format I think is about eking value, as much value as you can out of your cards. It's
Yeah.
like it really is sort of like a war of attrition kind of thing. But often they've designed it well where often you do just need the board presence
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's what I was going to say,
you
where it's
can't
like,
afford it.
it feels like I do agree that the format does want you to like go to the late game, and if you like missed getting value along the way, like you're going to be really upset.
Yeah.
But you kind of will fall in the default of like, no, I always play my warp cards through that lens of like we play it like this, and then and it
Yeah.
always
Right.
comes over and
That's
over again.
the default play
Yeah,
pattern is you warp it first and then
but
you play it later.
so that's why I'm hammering home. Think about not warping. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Though, as we're talking about that, I just want to talk about one of the play patterns that I hate to see, but it's so good. And it's
Oof,
literally
I'm
just,
excited for
I
this.
mean, it's not crazy exciting or anything, but whenever my opponent plays the Zookeeper on turn two, which is
Oh,
like,
Zookeeper Mechan is so
yeah,
good.
the 2 mana 1/3 that taps for red, but also you can pump things later in the game.
Well, yeah, why is this card so good, by the
I
way?
just often, this has happened multiple games where it's like Zookeeper on two, warp out Nova Hellkite on three, kill your Virus Beetle, hit you for four, it warps away. On turn four, because you played the Zookeeper the turn before, now you get to just play the Nova Hellkite again. And it's just the most brutal curve, and I hate it, but it's so good. And
Oh
so
man,
that just
this card I had to like read a couple of times because for some reason it looks just like scanning it looks like a typical bad red card, but it's so good and I
it's so
I
good.
feel like it didn't need to be able to tap for its own second ability, but it can. So
Yeah.
why not? Usually that would have a tap activation on it as well.
Yeah.
So but it's just like secretly it's actually only 6 mana, not seven.
Yeah, exactly. Which I personally like a lot because then like for multiple reasons because it pays for its own red, so you don't have to have other red sources or blah 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 whatever.
Yeah,
But I also like that like older Magic cards used to do that a little bit more, where it's like there's like some hidden stuff that you have to find, and I like that instead of as
yeah,
handholdy.
for sure.
But you do have to yes remember that when you're counting their lands, you only have to count 6 lands, not 7,
Right.
because when they put that on the double striking creature, oof, that's scary,
Oh boy.
scary stuff.
Which is a great creature on its own, by the way.
It is.
All right, Zach. So something else that I wanted to talk about in this format is I think that every color pair in this format, or at least there's a couple exceptions, but I think most of them, in some sense, have two different versions.
Mm,
And broadly speaking, there's the synergy version, and then
hmm.
there's the good stuff version.
Okay.
And I think, like, I've drafted by far the most green white, so I'll use green white as an example. But
Gotcha.
I think you can have a successful green white deck that is doing the crazy tokens thing. It has the
Hmm.
Halias, it has
Hmm.
the, you know, just
Rayblade troopers and the yeah all this
Beyblade
stuff. Yeah.
Troopers. Yeah. Apparently not the atmospheric greenhouses, but I didn't know about that.
Jeff,
Maybe, yeah.
you can yeah, honestly before you keep going with that, I just want to say that you can play whatever card that you want, and you should still be doing that. It's early in the format, and we will see what happens. Things will
Might just
change.
not take them as highly. If it's the worst performing common, people might pass it later, you know.
It's true. That's
I,
what you can figure out is that
I've
if
been
other
using it
people.
as a signal that green is open, and I should probably just stop doing that. Since everyone thinks it's terrible. Um, so you can do that, and that is where you want to be. And just before I forget, just a quick aside on that deck, the green plus almost
Mhm.
one counters deck. Do you know what my favorite card in this entire format is? I think you're gonna like
But
this one, but you might not guess
besides
it from me.
besides Cryogen Relic.
I mean, I do love that card, but I actually don't
Okay.
think I've ever actually had the luxury of playing more than one of it.
Is your favorite card a
Um,
common?
yes,
Okay.
and
Is
it's
it
in the deck that I was just talking about.
and it's a card that I would like?
Yeah,
So are you okay, I kind of feel like you're talking about Biosynthetic Burst.
I am absolutely talking about Biosynthetic Burst. I
Yeah.
fucking love this card. Whenever I'm in this deck, I am like on the hunt for at least one of these, and I've
Mhm.
played as much as three. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I want all the Biosynthetic Bursts I can get, especially in green white. This is
Yeah.
just like,
It works so well. It's like super snakeskin veil. Oh,
yeah.
not exactly, because it doesn't, the hexproof part is really important. But
Yeah, sometimes they're like banishing light, and I'm like,
fuck. Yeah.
but like, it can't be the best card ever. It has
Hmm.
to have some weaknesses. No, I mean, what an outrageous combat trick. The fact that it gives trample is just,
And untaps. I always forget that this
untaps it.
card
Yeah.
untaps it. Because,
And reach. Dude.
yeah, it gets
Sometimes the
a
reach
plus
matters.
one counter, trample, reach, and it untaps it for just 2 mana.
Yeah.
I will say that the sneaky thing with this card is that you want to be attacking, play this, untap it, and then you can use your now souped up creature to station your spacecraft
Yes.
with an
Yeah.
extra counter on it, which is super nice. Or vice versa, if you want to like station your thing. Obviously, like this is much worse by playing it not in combat, but don't forget you can do that. It is a line of text.
Totally. So I think that if you're green white, that's where you want to be. But some
Hmm.
pods just don't have that.
Hmm.
That's not what they're giving you. And you can actually have a very successful green white deck that is playing just big stuff. It's
Hmm.
playing Lash Whip Predators, Harmonious Grove Striders, maybe some God Maws, your top end. You have your classic Galactic Wayfarers, maybe an Ice Cave Crasher. Like,
Hmm.
this is just kind of like a green white. I
Beat them
have
up
pretty good creatures
with white removal. Yeah.
with white removal. I'm going to attack you. I'm not necessarily doing the go wide and put counters on it thing. I'd like to be doing that, but that's not the way this
Hmm.
format or this like
Deck game.
pod went. And it's totally fine. Like, I think
Hmm.
it's not quite as good as when you get there on the synergy, but it's better than when you take the synergy cards and it's just not there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're trying
Because
to
you're like,
force the +1/+1 counter thing, and you're getting all the weaker cards from that,
yeah,
and you're not getting the real, like,
meat and potatoes, right?
yeah, exactly.
We were kind
You
of
know,
frustrated the whole time. Okay, so one thing before I know we're talking about this, but specifically, how do you feel about Dock Worker Drone? It's a two
I
mana
like
1
it.
1 that enters with a counter and has modular, essentially.
I'm a big fan. This card actually goes up and up in my rankings, and I'm starting to take it over cards that I think like would otherwise think are much better than this card.
Because I love Dock Worker Drone. It has continued to skyrocket, and
Mhm.
it feels like the safest place to put my counters. And
Yeah, it
attacking
just goes
feels
up and up in my rankings.
amazing because you're like, I'll attack in if you want to trade or double block or I do not
Oh yeah.
care as long as I have another creature that I can put counters on. This is going to be awesome. And if it's another Dockworker drone, even better because we just keep moving all the counters around. Nobody ever loses their counters. It just feels like Mirrodin all over again. It's like
One of the only things I like to put counters on more than Dockworker Drone is Hemosymbic Might.
I do like Hebos a
That
bit,
feels
mate.
good. That
Um,
feels good. When you put 2 or 3 counters on this thing, you're like, woo!
it
It's a
is
lot
well.
of
The thing is that
damage.
I really like turn one Hemosymbic Might, which is the 1 mana 1 1, and when it becomes tapped, it gives another creature plus X equal to its power. Then turn two, you Dockworker drone, and now it's this constant like, if you ever trade with my Dockworker drone, my might gets bigger, and now I just have that. You have a new problem, and that has
Yeah.
been a lot of fun. So those cards
I had
together,
a
love them.
I had a particularly fun game where I had a Hemosymbic Might, I think a few counters on it, but I couldn't attack with
Hmm.
like it would be a one-time use kind of thing. It'd be like
Exactly.
this is a one-time pump. And I had a Starfield Shepherd, and there
Hmm.
were my opponent had no flying blockers. So I was like, I can like whittle them down with the Shepherd maybe, and then try to get in with the Might and the Shepherd and
Hmm.
like do the one big flying attack. But then I realized I have a Starport security. So I can
Oh,
actually tap my own Might
for 2 mana.
with my Starport security to put it, and then I was attacking for like 7, and I got the game done in 3 turns. And
That's
I was like,
awesome.
I that was one of the games I was proudest of because I was like, and I just had a bunch of like tokens from Night Luminaries,
Yeah,
whatever.
so you're just like, I
So
can
I
chump
wasn't
all
gonna
your stuff.
die.
Yeah, all I
Yeah,
have to do is make sure I can do this. That is pretty. I like that a lot because Starport Security has been pretty annoying in some of the games I've played against it.
yeah,
I do enjoy it. I did say when I was doing my set review that Starport Security, it's not performing extremely well. However, I still think that Starport Security, when you have a Shepherd, like that card goes way up
for
because you can
sure.
go
Yeah.
search it, right? Actually,
That's
both
what
of those
happened in
cards.
this
Yeah.
game. The Shepherd went to get the Starports, and I was like
You can
thinking,
get
oh, I
both of
could
them.
do the whole like tap on your end step, tap on my turn, maybe force some things through. And I'm like, no, wait, let's just like give +4/+4 every turn to
Like
this
that
fucking
sounds amazing.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, because that's fun because you can get both of those cards. 2 mana,
yeah,
get the security, 2 mana,
yeah, the
or and
might,
then and
yeah,
then you play the might. So that is super. That's awesome. I like that a lot. That's so much fun.
yeah. Shepherd also pretty good card.
Pretty good. It's a pretty good
Yeah,
card.
it's not bad.
Yeah, I think we all kind of knew that though.
Yeah, I mean that this one was not a surprise. You
Yeah,
read this card and you're like, that is a
totally.
strong limited card.
I do want to say, for your point earlier about a bunch of archetypes that, like, you could play your 2 color pairs in a bunch of different ways. One of the cards that has been standing out to me as, this card fits kind of in a bunch of different places, and it looks like it's supposed to be in one place, but you can really just throw this in a, like, it depends on, it's so deck dependent. I think that's what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
is Ilvoy Operative. So this is a blue
Mm.
common. It's 1 and a blue for a 2/1. And whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And obviously, when you read this, it's like, oh, this is a blue-white payoff.
Blue white,
You should
yeah.
be in the blue-white deck. But I've seen it really like perform extremely well in blue-red decks and blue-green decks. Anything where it's just like the only thing it asks you to do is just play a cheaper deck. So like you just need to have a bunch of like draw spells, and it loves cryogen relics like everybody does. But it wants to be in those styles of decks, but it doesn't necessarily care about your color combination because any deck can have cheap cards that you can play a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
So seeing how this card can be in different aggressive strategies is pretty interesting as we go into a world where people are not picking removal that kill big things as highly. And this card, I just find it to be extremely interesting because once you get a couple of them down, because nobody wants this card, or at least early in the format, people didn't really want this card. I think it's going up currently,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm kind of trying to spotlight this, is because it's becoming a lot more surprising to me. Like Ilvoy Operative with the Gale Blades, the 1 mana 1/1 flash creature, and like I played against one of these decks. I think Circovitz from he's actually Circovitz works up with 17 lands. He's like the data guy for them. But I played against him in the streamer event, and he had built a deck like this, and I was like, this is all the cards that I see as like pushes put together into this wacky contraption of very scary.
I love when that happens.
I'm having an issue dealing with this. It's like every single card it seems like he's playing is something that I would have never picked for my deck.
Right.
And
I
so,
love that. There's a few formats where that kind of happens and the pros figure it out and they just have
Yeah.
this like the push deck where like every card everyone else is packing or is passing is super good in your deck.
Pick it
And
up,
it's
pick
just
it up, pick
like
it up.
they just
Yeah.
annihilate everyone because like,
Right. And like, I mean, it's
I
been
don't know
a while.
if it's that like to that level in this format, but
But it's possible. Like if you see some of these early, you can probably wheel a lot of them unless other people are onto your antics. Which
yeah, everyone's so busy fighting over cryogen relics. You're just sneaking in there and getting the
Yeah.
Ilvoy boys.
and they just like slide over to you. So that have been pretty interesting, and you can pair it up with a bunch of other stuff, which is nice. So I don't know. I've been also looking at the same type of thing where it's like when I'm building my decks, what the overarching theme of what the deck is trying to do is becoming a lot more important.
Yeah. And I think I've made that explicit personally. So I do want to say, I said pretty much every deck can do this. I think every deck pretty much has a good stuff version, with two exceptions that I've seen. I've never seen a blue-white deck that is just like blue-white good stuff. Blue-white is always two spells.
Interesting.
And red black, I think really you really want the artifact synergies in red black.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the like red black, oh, I have good creatures and good removal. That doesn't really work, in
Yeah.
my opinion, because the red creatures just aren't that good.
And same with the black
So
creatures too. They're like
yeah.
there's a couple ones that are fine.
Like don't get me wrong, I love Grav Pack Monoist. Like that is type
It's
of card that I'm
good, yeah.
a big fan of, but like it doesn't
But
work
it
in a strategy of like, oh, I'm just gonna play good creatures and kill your stuff.
yeah. Is like
It's only two power.
it's not it doesn't pack enough punch. The card that is surprising me a lot, and I had put this super super low in black, is Perigi Beckoner, which is the 4 and a black for the 4/5, and it has warp for 1 and a black. But when it enters, it gives a creature +2/+0, and when that creature would die, you return it to the battlefield, tapped under its owner's control. I thought that this ability forecasted was bad. Most of the time, this is an instant speed type of effect where you get into combat, you get to do a combat trick, and then you get your creature back. This being like, I'm going to warp this out. This creature is now attacking. But oftentimes it's like this horrible situation where you're like, well, I was going to trade with that, but now I really don't want to trade with it. Or it's like a virus beetle or something. Or just something
Basically
that has a,
can't, so I just have to eat 5 or something.
yeah. I'm going to eat like 3 to 5. And then they're just going to play this next turn and they get another big attack.
Right. It's just gonna happen
It's
again.
And you're just like, especially, and that's why I've been going up and up on tokens, where it's like, man, if I just have like random fodder that I can just like chump to this. But if you ever have relevant creatures that are strong, like your Galactic Wayfarer is like, oh man, like I did get value on the way in, but I'm not really trading with the things I want to be trading with. I'm just
Right. A big part of the card is that 3/3 for three is a
Hmm.
solid body, and then it has this
Yeah,
huge upside of a lander token.
exactly. And so it just that becomes such of
I
a
don't want to trade it with Virus Beetle.
no,
Like,
especially because
yeah.
the virus beetle is just going to come back and make me discard
And
another
make me
card.
discard another card. Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
that.
it's just like it's just
Uh,
so annoying.
I
Um,
will be at 3 life and I will still not make that block. Out of principle.
I will be at 3 life with no cards in hand, and I won't make that block.
Yeah. Unacceptable. I had an opponent warp in Caesarian Voidborn, which is like the Blood Artist
Hmm.
thing, and then warp in this Beckoner targeting the Voidborn, and then use Embrace Oblivion to
Oh
sacrifice
my
the
god.
Voidborn and kill my thing. And I was like, I really want to be on that side of the table right now.
Yeah.
That was sick. Like, I don't
Uh,
even know how good that was because you used like a
like
ton of resources.
yeah, for one thing.
Was that better than just like playing this thing and then
Yeah.
sacking your lander token to kill
Yeah,
my thing?
exactly.
But I was like, but it was sweeter. I'll give
Yeah,
you
yeah.
that. It was way sweeter.
That's the kind of stuff with like the all fate stalker where maybe you're going a little bit too hard. There's probably something
Yeah, we're
easier way
getting a
to
little
deal with
too
that.
clever here. Like you
Yeah.
could have definitely just played that and
Hmm.
sacked something else, but
Anything.
it was
Yeah.
cool, and I'm here for it.
Because is that better than just like the Perigee Beckoner or whatever on one of your creatures attack? Your opponent's like, I guess don't block. You're like, fine, I'll sack it and kill your best creature. That's
It's definitely not
a
better.
much better play,
Right. Yeah.
right?
And like Void, you can warp in the Voidborn if you want to get the extra damage off
Yeah,
the
you just
Embrace
don't have to
Oblivion.
worry about doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, one big card that I want to get your take on.
Cool.
Nebula Dragon. This is a red common, costs 6 and a red. And yeah, it's a 4/4 dragon with flying. And when it enters, it deals 3 damage to anything.
I honestly say I've never taken this card. I've
Hmm.
never played this card, and I've never played against this card. So I've in my brain, I've just cataloged it as like it's bad. There's better things to do with that mana. I think like something that has surprised me and stood out a little bit is Pinnacle Killship. And I
Okay.
feel like I just kind of want Pinnacle Killship instead.
Yeah.
Um, but I
Which
don't know. I
is like your
just
7 mana
have
play that just deals 10 damage to a creature and becomes a 7/7. Like, that is way
right. It just
scarier.
seems way
Yeah.
better than this,
Yeah.
But it does have the station quote unquote downside.
Hmm.
But like in games where this type of spell is good, that doesn't usually matter.
Yeah. I when I looked at this card originally, a 7 mana 4/4 looks OG Kamigawa, like Champions of Kamigawa, like
Right. Yeah.
coded. I know it's a dragon that like looks like a Kamigawa dragon because it's just like a snake looking thing, but it threw me back in time. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what am I looking at right here?
What is it, 1995?
Yeah, what's happening? Not no, that came out in like 2004 or whatever.
Yeah, but a 7 mana 4/4 is totally something they would
Oh,
print in
it's true, it's
95.
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like 4/4. Well,
Yeah, yeah. With
it's gonna
flying,
cost at
it
least
must deal.
6 mana.
It deals 3 damage to me.
Yeah, yeah,
When
to
it enters.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
they just changed it to any
And
target.
sacrifice it unless you pay 7 every turn.
Yeah. I want to point this out because currently this card has a 56.9% win rate. It is the second best red common in the set,
Insane. Okay, good to
and
know.
I think that is because only decks that want this card are playing it. Nobody
Right.
else is playing this card. It's got to be because I don't see this very often, and even when I do, it's like, well, I guess I have to use my removal on that thing, and then you just do.
I've literally never seen it.
Yeah. The only reason you would probably like the best case scenario when you're playing this card is if you happen to open, I think it's like a mythic, Tanuk, which gives all your red creatures warp for 2 in a red. Like that is
Oh,
the
and haste, right?
and haste. Yeah.
That card's nuts.
Yeah. So that is when you would start taking the Nebula Dragons. If you happen to pack one, pick one, or whatever, find a Tanuk in your draft.
The thing about warp is like you need utility to make it worth it. So like
Yeah.
station is obviously great with warp, but like
Hmm.
haste is nuts with warp. And
Yes.
so like when that creature gives everything warp and haste, I was
Hmm.
like, what the fuck is this?
It
I definitely lost a game to that card.
Yes, it's very strong, but it also only cares about you can only give your red creatures warp.
Okay, right.
Yes.
So
So you
Nebula
can't.
Dragon in particular is nice with
Yes,
it.
because you can't do any of your big beefy green creatures, or your stations can come down, but you have to tap a bunch of creatures to station them.
Yeah,
You know.
sure.
So
Yeah.
specifically Nebula Dragon in that deck with that card goes way up. But besides that, I don't love it either. And so it's really this is the biggest surprise to me. I was like, what the hell is this doing up here? Like,
I feel like I'm going to continue to not take it until I lose to it or something. Like it makes some sense in that the format is slow and 7 mana
yeah.
is not unattainable,
Hmm.
which I think is kind of the realization to me with Pinnacle Killship.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess like Zookeeper Mechan is one of the best red
Hmm.
commons, so it does help you get there. But I still don't think I'm taking this
And
highly.
I still don't want. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like the worst red commons are like the bottom three are Frontline War Rager, which is the 3 mana 2/3, and if two
Card's
creatures are
awful.
tapped,
Yeah,
you put a plus
it's
one plus one count on something.
appropriately at the bottom.
Red Tiger Mechan, which is the 4 mana 3/3 haste, but you can warp it for one in red.
I don't hate that card. That's
See,
a
I
little
don't hate that card
surprising to me.
either. That's really
Yeah.
surprising to me. Because if you get a bunch of these in your like, this is like an F level
Isn't
card
this
right now.
card a lot of damage?
Yeah, it's so much damage. And then
Attacks for
the
2/3s like a champ.
Yeah, and then the worst performing red common is Drill Too Deep, which
Sure.
I don't play
Yeah,
that
yeah,
card.
okay.
Yeah, like the Shadow
Uh,
variant.
Drill too deep, yeah. And I would have had Frontline War Rager as the second worst.
Hmm.
Um, and then
But
another card I just never play is Rig for War because I feel like there's always just better options. I always just end up picking
you know what's
better.
so funny is that like I always am thinking about Rig for War. If my opponent's
Mm.
attacking, I was like, okay, well they could have Rig for
Yeah, it's
War,
got to be Rig for War.
and like they used to have it, but they don't have it anymore. Like it used to
Yeah.
be a big deal originally, and now it's like, okay, they probably have Focus Fire. It's like that's what I'm thinking about most of the time. But obviously, those are two different decks, but because they're different colors. But
I think
that
the red card. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say that's more of the thing that I start to think about. But what's the red card that you think about when
The
you're?
red card I've been most impressed by and keeps kind of climbing my rankings is
Hmm.
actually Orbital Plunge. I had this as
Yeah,
like the worst red removal spell, probably. Like, oh, I
yeah.
want Bombard and Plasma Bolt, and then Orbital Plunge exists, I guess. But
Hmm.
now I'm kind of like, I think I want Orbital Plunge,
Yeah.
certainly over Plasma Bolt.
Yeah, definitely over
Um,
Plasma Bolt. I really thought Bombard was an easy pick.
yeah,
But
I actually think I might start, like, I might be taking Orbital Plunge over Bombard now because the format is so slow and they're just these
mhm,
big creatures that
yeah,
the six
that
damage matters more.
the six damage does matter more, but it leaves behind something,
The lander
right?
token matters, and like you're not that upset paying 4 mana at sorcery speed
Yeah,
because it's not like you're not going to get run over. Whereas
yeah.
Bombard
Well,
is much better if you're going to get run over in
exactly.
Plasma Bolt.
The other thing is that Orbital Plunge is the best red common currently.
Oh,
Yeah, like bar
wow.
none.
I don't know if I had it there yet, but
It
I feel
is.
like I was on that trajectory. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, every draft, I'm
Hmm.
just like, I need to start
So
prioritizing that higher.
Orbital Plunge is the best. Then Nebula Dragon, that one doesn't really count. But then Cav Landseeker and then the Zookeeper. Those are the top four.
I definitely would have had
Hmm.
Zookeeper like second
Much, yeah,
or
yeah.
first.
I still consider Zookeeper first or second,
I don't know if I
even
would have
with
picked
this.
Cav Land Seeker. It's fine. I like it
I do like the Cav Landseeker, but um,
as like
yeah.
best non-removal spell red common. I don't know.
The one thing I will say is that between Bombard and Orbital Plunge, Bombard being a 3 mana instant speed 4 damage, or a 4 mana sorcery speed 6 damage with an artifact. Maybe the sorcery speed part of Orbital Plunge is a gift because it forces you to play it on your turn so you don't get blown out by the Biosynthic Burst. Because your opponent's
Mm.
tapped out, you're like, okay, well, I have to play this on my turn, so I'll play it right now. as opposed to I'll wait till they attack, and then you're like, oh, I got so wrecked with the bombard, you know?
Or I'll attack first and
Hmm.
then like bombard is a combat trick, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
should have done that.
exactly. So I think those two things happen, and I can't remember the last time I played Orbital Plunge and didn't get a lander token. Like,
Oh yeah, you always do.
you basically always are getting a lander token, so you're just like, it's just
And if you're
free
not,
value.
you're happy. You just killed a 6 toughness thing.
Yeah,
Like I'm not that upset.
you're like, holy crap.
Definitely probably cost them more than 4 mana to make that 6 toughness
Exactly.
thing. So.
So, yeah, really good card. That was probably one of the most surprising of the best, the comments and stuff, because I did not, all the red stuff felt so bizarre. Which, like,
Okay,
hey,
so you asked me about Nebula Dragon.
yes.
I have a card I wanted to ask you about, and I don't know the win rates.
Hmm.
Win rates aside,
Okay.
how do you feel about mental modulation?
That's the tapper, right? The
Yeah,
tap
it's the two
thing.
mana instant speed tapper, but if you do it as a sorcerer, it's only 1 mana,
Yeah,
and it's a
and
cantrip.
it's a cantrip. This is a card I have never played.
Really?
Not
Okay.
once have I played this card. I've had it played against me, and I've been like, oh, okay, that was cute. But like, it has not been on my radar as like a card that I want to play or I am playing at all.
I just straight up like this card.
Yeah,
Originally, I was like, okay, this is a blue-white card, right?
yeah,
Like
that's what it looks like,
blue-white is a
right?
little aggressive.
Hmm.
You want to be casting it for 1 mana if you can.
Hmm.
I think it's the only 1 mana cantrip for that deck at common.
Oh yeah,
And
common, yeah, yeah. I
so
was gonna
like it's
say,
perfect in
I
blue-white,
was gonna
right?
say, what is honor to you? Nothing.
I actually really like Honor,
Yeah, yeah.
but uh, I don't know. I just kind of like this card. I'll play it in green blue. I'll play it
Okay, so like I was saying
like
before,
it's a poor man's cryogen relic, you know.
mhm,
But it's like
but it
it
still
keeps me
is.
drawing cards and
Hmm.
it saves
It
me a big
does
attack.
a little thing. Um,
And sometimes you get in a big attack because you're
mhm,
just like tap that shit
yeah.
and hit you 1 mana and I drew a card.
So the deck that I was talking about that I'm more interested in playing with, it's the Ilvoy Operative deck, wants mental modulations because it's a 1 mana card that you get to play that cantrips you on your turn, that gets taps down your blockers, and
Yeah,
then you get to
I can
build your
see that.
creatures up. So I
I'm just gonna try to. I'm gonna force this archetype every time and just have awful decks.
well the
So
thing is,
thanks, Zach.
well, I
But
do think that this is a green blue deck too. We even had somebody in our Discord recently post a trophy with this exact deck that I'm talking about, right? Of like
oh,
play
I missed
multiple
that. I'll have to go
spells,
check it out.
like play multiple spells in a turn, make your Ilvoy Operative really big, tap down their stuff, and then you're using things like Sammy's Curiosity to because you're just playing cheap cards that get you little
Right.
advantages and stuff. Or like that's where Cryo Shadow starts to become a bit better, and that's why when you're as opposed to some of the more bigger clunky things in green.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
you still need cryogen relics though. That's like what brings it all together.
I mean,
It's
that would be great, yeah. But I don't think you need it as much as like artifact decks. That's why the
oh
blue red
yeah,
deck has not been performing as well, I think, because that deck does crumble when you don't. Cryogen Relic is so important. Like you
dude.
need that
I've
card.
never lived this dream, but I've had it happen to me multiple times. Have you ever had Embrace Oblivion sacking cryogen relic happen to you?
No, I have not, but that sounds so good.
That is a like fuck.
Hmm.
How do I win this game? How do I
Yeah,
win now? Those two commons put
as in
together
so
destroyed them.
strong, so strong. Ugh,
That was like a
God.
divination murder stapled together.
Yeah,
And
three mana.
I hate
Yeah,
you
holy
for
shit.
it.
3 mana divination murder. Oh my god, you're right. That's crazy. I guess there technically are two separate cards, but
It did cost them two
yeah,
cards, but it's
yeah,
still
but
like,
still
yeah.
so good. Um, man, what a fun. Yeah, so this is like obviously we're talking about commons, and obviously we're talking about limited. That's why we take the commons and blah blah blah. But this set in particular, the commons are really exciting, and
Yeah.
like the fact that Virus Beetle is the best black common, which I called out, 2 weeks ago. Um, it,
I only had to play like a couple of drafts to be like, I
mhm.
shouldn't have picked Kill.
Yeah, it's like
But yeah.
Virus Beetle is just so good, but it's so hard because it easily isn't that thing. All of these. we will see how the format shakes out because obviously it's just the first week and things do change.
Yeah.
So these top slots, I think Cryogen Relic is the one that like I don't think that's going to be pushed off a pedestal, but all the other ones have there's wiggle room.
I
But
don't know if
Cryogen is
Galactic
just,
Wayfarer is moving either.
I think it's quite strong, but like
There's a lot of good
I
green stuff.
I
Yeah.
just think Cryogen is just so much better than all the other blue things.
Yeah.
That like it's
Cryogen is crazy because like if you don't pick it first pick, you just don't get it.
exactly.
Like
It is definitely a first pickable card, and like I was saying before, blue red
maybe first two.
artifacts.
Like I just never see this card. I have to open
Just
it.
don't. Yeah, you cannot hope to get it later. You have to go into the deck getting Cryogen Relic. You can't get like a self craft mech and being like, man, if I get a Cryogen
If I
Relic, this is gonna be great.
right. Whereas my first couple of drafts, I'm like, if I just pick up a couple of Cryogen relics, this
Exactly.
deck's gonna be awesome.
As I
Like
go into pack
obviously I
three,
never did. Yeah.
pack three, all
Oh
I have
yeah,
to
for
do.
sure.
No,
This is
no. So that's why I think some of those like I don't know, blue red decks haven't really been clicking. But the thing is, like, I got obliterated by them early in the format, so they were so high to me. I was like, man, this deck is so strong. And then
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just plummeted since then. So as well as like, we were touting how amazing Starbreacher Whale is. And I
I
was
actually
like,
don't like it anymore, really.
I was a
It's
huge
fine.
fan, and I started picking it super high, and then I started playing with it a bunch more, and it hasn't been doing all the stuff that I wanted
Yeah,
anymore. Especially because
same.
Depressurize is becoming like the black removal spell.
Yeah, that's the
That
big
like,
thing, right?
yeah,
Like
it's like,
dying to
oh, it dies to
depressurize is rough.
depressurize. It's pretty rough. And the card that I like of the two bigger, cheaper warp blue commons, like Mechanizoa is the one that always fucks me up so bad. When I'm like, as long as they don't play they just played Mechanizoa. Okay, well now we
Yeah,
just can't win.
Mechanizo is better than I thought it was, and the whale is worse than I thought
It's
it was,
worse.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
I will still play whale, but I won't play as many as I was before.
Yeah, like I used to prioritize it, and now I'm just like, if it makes my deck, it makes my deck. I'm not that
Exactly.
unhappy. Uh,
It's so funny because it almost having a Starbreacher Whale in your opening hand is almost a disadvantage because you will keep bad hands knowing that you can surveil too.
yeah.
You know, you're like, well, I don't have my second color, but I do have a Starbreacher Whale, so I'll probably find it.
I have a whale and a dream.
Yeah, to be fair, I always do find it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen sometimes.
Someday I won't. Um,
Someday.
is there any other big topics you wanted to hit on this limited format? Uh,
Um, the biggest thing I wanted to say was don't listen to Jeff and do not play more than two colors. That's
you
what I
could do
wanted to
it.
say.
You could do it.
And don't even think
Don't
about
be
playing five
afraid.
colors. Don't play five colors at all. If you go, don't do it. Don't do it.
Lander tokens are just that good, man.
Okay, I will. I wanted to go back and talk about that a little bit. It's just that you were talking about being in green blue, and then you fall into a five color soup because you happen to have so much stuff going on
Yeah, yeah,
already.
yeah.
That is the only acceptable way, I think, it is to start splashing into other
Sure. I
stuff.
mean, if you can be two color, be two like with a strong deck, just be two color, right?
I
But I
know.
think I've been afraid because the lands are so bad of ever doing
Any splashes.
multiple colors. And I think sometimes you're better off doing that than just taking the shitty cards in your archetype
Yes.
or
I
whatever.
just
You know what I mean?
I want it to be very well known that like we're not advocating. It's hard to find that point and taking the five color station guide light stupid rare and going five colors is not what you're supposed to
never
do.
take that. No.
That's a horrible
Uh,
card and you should not go into
it's an
five
exit
colors.
strategy. If the train is about to
Hmm.
crash, you're
Hmm.
seeing a train wreck draft happen. Don't
Yes.
just keep taking bad cards for your archetype.
Hmm.
Just like do like a 6/6/5,
Yes.
pick it up, and Blander tokens will
Hmm.
help you, and you're
Hmm.
shooting for 4 wins here. You know what I mean? Like
Yes. Hmm.
this is a really, but I think it's important because it's like a valid thing where you
Hmm.
can, if you get cut, which happens all the time,
Hmm.
you can just like pivot and be like, you know what? It's obviously not ideal to
Hmm.
be three colors, but it's doable.
But
It is a
yes,
playable
okay.
thing.
That I think that's a good message, and that's the message I want to be giving out to everybody. If you're going barreling down towards the cliff, you can lean out of the train window with your whatever your Winchester and shoot the thing that changes the track so that you go to 4 wins instead of 0.
Yeah.
But okay, I do like that, but I have been finding that if I do want to pivot, I need to do it early, and I need to be better, I guess, stronger with my pivots. And I mean, I'm very famous for I'm a waffler. I pull out my waffle iron and I go back and forth between two different decks, and then I end up with
Yeah.
two decks I can't play, and then it's just horrible, right?
I actually
So
don't, I think this format rewards you for finding your lane early too.
yes,
Um,
because you cannot, because if you don't have the lander tokens, there's no way to fix.
so that was one tip I had, is start taking those gold signposts on commons earlier than you normally would.
That is
Just
really
commit.
interesting. Yeah,
Just be
just
like,
commit.
I gotta, this is where I am.
Yeah, or
And you,
speculate.
yeah,
Like,
and you can pivot. Like if you're in
mhm,
any of the Grixis colors, you can pivot to almost any of the other ones because
mhm.
all the cards are the same that they want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Where it's like, okay, I'll pick up a good black removal spell. Oh, now I have some good blue cards. Now,
they
okay,
all they all just want like artifacts,
just be
like
very conscious about like doing that. I don't know. It matters more where as opposed to Final Fantasy, where it's like, oh, I guess I could pick up a couple towns and I'll play Grixis.
yeah, Final Fantasy was about being super open. I think
Hmm.
this format is like any draft format, you want to identify the open
Lane.
colors.
Hmm.
But like by the end of pack one, I want to know what two-colored deck I'm planning on drafting or
Yeah.
hoping to draft, and which version of it. Is this a
Hmm.
synergy version of the
I think.
deck, or is this just a good stuff version of the deck?
Yeah. Or
After
is
pack one, I want to be making that decision.
yeah. Are you playing the Ilvoy Operative where you're playing a bunch of spells? Those
Yeah,
are
are we doing
yeah.
that thing, right? Like I want to be making those decisions early because
It changes
the power
everything.
level of the cards in this set
Hmm.
is so context dependent that
Yes.
like even more so than usual
Yeah.
that it's like that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And so far, I've got to say, I think this draft format is going quite well.
I
I've been
like it.
enjoying it a lot. And the secret sauce, Wizards is figuring out the secret sauce of these things. I mean, obviously, they love artifact tokens that do little incremental things. But, you know, we just, if this ends up being a really great draft format, just like Final Fantasy, we're going to, I, I, I think, well, I mean, we're already in a great world of like amazing draft formats, but like, it's
Yeah,
just,
this one is fun, and I never
mhm,
thought I would like the space opera
mhm,
set. And be like, I really like spacecrafts too. I love what they
mhm.
did with that. By the way, I think you want two, maybe
Two.
three.
Yeah.
Don't do more than that. I see so many people with a like bunch of spacecrafts, and I'm like, well, good
Yeah.
luck. I guess I'll
Whenever you
just
start
hit you
doing
in the
the, yeah,
face.
yeah. Whenever you start doing the spacecraft to station your spacecraft, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
calm down.
went a
But
little off the rails there.
sometimes, oh, okay, my last little thing is that sometimes when I see people station their spacecrafts, there are times where it's like, you stationed way too many of your creatures, or you didn't station
Hmm.
enough of your creatures. Like,
It's really tough. It
it
is
is
a
really
brand new
tough.
mechanic. It's completely
Hmm.
different than what we're used to playing with, and it is difficult. I would say don't just go with your gut on this one because your
Hmm.
gut has no idea. You really
Yes,
have to map it out and think about it.
exactly. Absolutely. So yeah, one of the reasons why I think green white is really good because the counters change all of the math on all the different cards, so it makes it a lot more
And
interesting.
stop just like turning spacecrafts on for no at sorcery speed on your
Just
turn
because,
for no reason when they're summoning sick, like
yeah,
so that it opens them up to my removal. Like stop doing
hmm
that, people. They
yeah,
just like tap their whole board to make a creature. I'm like,
okay,
okay, kill that
kill it,
huge flyer and
attack with
attack with
everybody.
everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that's happened so many times. And I'm like, you could have just done this next turn and get at least get the attack in with the big flyer. You could do
yeah,
like a half and half split. Like
or
you gotta think
something
about
like
it.
that, or
Yeah.
like tapping down certain creatures, but then like not blocking with your other ones when I attack. So I'm like, well, Well, then what was the point of then not stationing? You should just station all of them if you know you're not going to block. Like, so sometimes
Yeah.
you just take that hit. You're like, well, I think it's okay if I take 5 damage here if I can get this closer or whatever. So anyway, great format. Wow, really liking it. This whole month is going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm loving it too. I did have something I want to end on. So
Ooh,
I asked Gemini, which is Google's AI,
yes.
to look at 17 lands and write me a draft guide for the format using
Gotcha.
the data, like analyze the data and tell me what to do. It created a crazy report. I haven't looked at it because I knew it would contain the
Spoilers, right?
spoilers, but I've been scanning it while we were talking, and it's really long, and I'm excited to go read through this. But I identified a portion that I do want to read out, which is part four, exploiting market inefficiencies, hidden gems, and overrated cards. So it has identified hidden gems, which it classifies as high win rate but late pick.
Right.
And it has said it picked four cards. Okay. Thawbringer,
Yes.
which is the 4/2 that
Three.
surveils on ETB
ETB.
and death. It says it's an unassuming creature that punches above its weight. Two toughness is a liability, but the surveil upon entering, leaving the battlefield, provides key ability to find setup pieces, late game bonds, etc. It's an orbital plunge,
Okay.
expensive for a removal
Very good.
spell, but generally a lander token. Galactic Wayfarer, which I thought was interesting. It says, despite being the top performing common, it is often not drafted as such. And then,
Oh, with its actual ALSA. Oh, interesting.
yeah, so it's combining like what's the win rate versus when is it picked on average. And then Uthros Psionicist, which is the your second
Oh,
spell costs two less, 2/4. It says this is often overlooked, but it's substantial. And then it says overrated cards and traps. These are low win rate cards that are getting picked highly. And these were interesting to me because I do like some of these cards. Galvanizing Sawship.
okay. Yeah,
The
sure. Yeah,
6/5
yeah, yeah.
flying haste
Not
that
a big
boosts
fan
for
of that one.
3.
Yeah.
It says just a little overcosted, inefficient. Dawnstrike Vanguard and Broodguard Elite. It says they appear powerful, but their high win rates often come in win more scenarios where the player is already winning. They're frequently ineffective when behind, making them unreliable in high variance inclusions. And then my favorite, the reason I'm even reading this right now.
Okay.
Consult the star charts. In many formats, a 2-mana instant that draws 2 cards would be a premium card. However, its relatively modest 56% win rate suggests that pure card draw is less valuable in this mana-intensive setup environment where developing the board is a higher priority.
Interesting.
So there you go. Those are some cards that you should look out for. If you didn't know Galactic Wayfarer was good, Gemini just told you. Uh, and if you thought Dawnstrike Vanguard was good, cut it out because I did think that card was good. Apparently, I've been building green white all wrong, but just winning a lot with it. So I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah. I'm sure. What is Dawnstrike Vanguard again?
That's the life linker that if you have 2 tapped creatures, it puts a counter on everything. It's like a,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The 6 mana one.
yeah.
Got it.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I guess I just like things that put counters on all of my
All of your
creatures in
creatures.
the
Yeah.
counter decks, and apparently those are terrible. So
Yeah.
fuck me, I guess.
I have seen that card has been strong-ish, but like,
But not like people are picking it too high relative to its actual win rate.
oh, gotcha.
So it's
I
not saying
was.
it's bad, but it's
It's just
saying
saying
like
it's
you don't need to pick it
yeah.
as highly
Because
as you are.
I had what is like my actual set review. I had it like low-ish because I was not a big fan of that
Really,
card.
I thought that was like, oh yeah, this is the all-star for green white. I'm gonna be
It
slamming this
was
one.
yeah. I gave it this like a regular C.
Oh,
Because
okay. I think I would have had it at like a B minus or something like.
it's because of the mana cost. Like I
Sure.
notoriously do
Yeah,
not.
yeah. You thought it would be a faster format than it is
Yeah,
too.
well, yes, but also I'm just not a big fan of like expensive
Expensive.
things
Sure.
that needs to do more stuff to be good, and it's performing at like a D plus. So,
Oh, okay. Huh.
um,
Um,
phew, dodge that bullet.
but maybe to so it is just bad. It's not even just drafted too early. Um, but then I said that because it's a really long report, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, what are the five takeaways of this format? So maybe we can
Okay,
end on Gemini's five takeaways for Edge of Eternity's draft.
amazing. I'm so surprised. So for all of you listening, Jeff always talks about Cloud, the other whatever AI that he uses all the time, and so the fact that he's
Keep,
actually
keep,
quoting Gemini is crazy right now. This is
keep
insane.
up, Zach. I'm on
Okay.
Gemini now.
Okay, I
Um,
didn't know. I didn't know. All right.
and
You were talking
OpenAI released,
you're talking shit about Gemini before, so I don't know.
yeah, but then they released a new model.
Okay,
And
all right.
GPT just released a new model today. Probably should use it because whatever's the most recent is the best. But
Right, right, right.
it says one, it's a setup format, not
Hmm.
just a slow one.
Hmm.
Takeaway two, green is the premier color, fueled by lander tokens.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Number three, synergy trumps rares. Number four, the top archetypes ramp or assemble an engine. Should be trying
Okay.
to assemble an engine. And then, okay, interesting. It says draft the underdrafted colors.
Hey, green's the best. Don't draft green. Um, I do think that this format, as far as green
It
goes,
actually says
is
green is underdrafted relative to its win rate.
well, that's interesting. Yeah, Galactic Wayfarer. I don't know. I like. This is really interesting as far as
And
a
red is wildly overdrafted, by the way.
okay. I think this is quite interesting as far as like a an experiment into seeing what it can pull out because the hardest part about all this data is this trying to parse what all of it means.
That's the
Um,
thing. Like I've asked, AI to do draft guides before, and it always
mhm.
produces like it looks at what other people have written and
Yeah.
produces some amalgamation of it. But then I was like, wait, what if I just have it like look at the 17 lands data
Hmm.
and be like, what do you see in this? Because that's the kind of thing that AI is actually good at is
Yeah.
like, here's all this data. What does it mean? And so this is a lot more interesting than attempts I've had in the past.
Yeah.
And
Which I
it
think,
seems more correct too.
yeah, it will be interesting to obviously continue to see how all of it goes because also at the same time, this is data, like as we always talk about, this is data of like the highest players and blah, 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 blah all that stuff, people that are
Yeah, yeah.
franchise. So it will be interesting as we continue on with the format as it's super early, but I do like the added Gemini, uh, like third host. Gemini? What is Gemini thing?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We
it's
won't
just
even
like,
need to do this anymore. We'll just have Gemini and Claude talk to each other.
yeah, that'll be great. I'm sure everyone's gonna love that because everybody loves AI.
Yeah,
But
especially in the Magic community, I've found
not
they're
only,
all pro AI.
yeah, yeah, super pro AI in the Magic community as well as pro, I don't know, listening to robots talk to each other. I don't know. That sounds uh,
Hey,
rough.
we could do the voice acting. Like we don't have to tell anyone.
Yeah,
The
that's
script is just written by I'm Claude and you can be
totally.
Gemini, I guess.
Well, you're giving me Gemini. Oh my gosh! Wow, your new favorite. Wow. Oh my god, Jeff. What? Oh my god. Um. Anyway, yes, very interesting stuff to hear all those things, but excited to see where the format goes in the future and what's going to happen with it. But so far, enjoying it a ton, and excited for all the events that are happening in the next few weekends.
Same. I want to play some competitive Edge of Eternities
Yes,
limited. Let's do it.
let's win some boxes, collector booster boxes, and yeah, open those up on stream. I guess that's what'll happen. Um, but anyway, Jeff, that's enough about this draft format. Do you want to get into this beer that we're drinking this evening?
I
Our
do.
beer ratings for the beer Going Steady, which, of course, Going Steady This is a brewery called Steadfast. Feels like a flagship right here.
Love it.
Going steady with Steadfast. As always, we rate our beers on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. However, this has nothing to do with what tier you are in currently, because everyone's in different tiers at different times. So don't feel bad when we say that bronze beers, they're trash. They're horrible. You spit them on the ground, you pour them out, you hate them. Blech.
Silver, these are just bad or boring.
Gold beers are fine, but you wouldn't really think about drinking them again.
Platinum, solid, and you would totally drink it again.
Diamond beers are exceptional. You like these a lot and you show them off to your friends.
Mythic, these are the best of the best. These are the cryogen relics of the beer world.
Hell yeah. Bummer I didn't pick that card, but I'm happy that one of us did. And Gemini said nothing about cryogen relics, so I don't trust.
That's true.
Gemini.
That's because it was looking for hidden gems.
That's true.
That thing is if
very
anything, it's
obvious.
overdrafted.
Jeff, what did you think about our going steady this evening? Were you going steady with it, or were you, I don't know, running right past it, or were you trying to sleep with it too quickly? I don't know.
I chugged it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
It's great.
Exactly what I want from an amber. It's exactly what they said it was. It was body malt forward. It was body. It did have a little hop to it that I kind of liked. Almost more like on the nose than necessarily flavor.
Totally. But I agree. It did have
was
more
a
hop than I
little
was
sweet,
expecting.
but not too sweet. It was. Honestly,
nice.
this was awesome. I
It was
really
very
liked
good.
it.
Yeah. Man, Steadfast, killing it. What a brewery.
The only question is it diamond or mythic for me?
That was the same question I had. And it's really hard because, like, my favorite amber ale doesn't exist anymore. So
Right.
so it's so hard when I'm like,
Need a
well,
replacement
I
then.
need a replacement. But I think overall, this brewery, like, we've gone through a bunch of their beers,
Yeah.
and I've liked all of them, even if they're not all like, oh, I'm like, some of them were gold, but it was just like, or at least I thought all of them were platinum or above. You had one gold, which was last week, because it was
Yeah.
like a
I think it
sour,
was
but
mostly a style thing than
yes,
anything.
then the actual presentation of it.
Execution.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. I just really like this. I don't know. It's so hard to give something mythic, but we haven't done it in so long.
I was just gonna give it mythic. I think if
I
I'm
think
on the
yeah.
fence, I'm gonna give the higher rating. You know,
I
like
think
let's
you're right.
be
You're right.
positive.
I think we should be. This is a great beer that, like, I'm definitely gonna go get more of whenever I go back. It feels
If
like
I
it's
had
something,
easy access to this, I would buy a lot of it. So I think
Yeah.
it's just mythic.
Exactly. Like, we should just. This feels like I'm so happy that we saved it to the end, because
Yeah.
it was building up over time, just sitting in my fridge.
I
but
was in the back of my head, I was like, it's not going to be as good as I think it is. And then I took one sip. I was like, that's exactly what I wanted this to be.
yeah, it's just what you want. And you know what? We should give praise where it's due, because not enough people make this style. They just kind of
Yeah.
brush past it, and we do love it. You said it was your favorite beer style. It's my favorite as well. And so that could easily be part of it. But
I think
having
one of the only things I noticed is I usually expect a little more alcohol from the style, actually. This is like on the lighter side. And I think you can taste that. Like normally the malts are sort of there to mask or balance some of that alcohol. This did feel a bit lighter, but I liked it. I thought it was
yeah,
great.
honestly, 4.5, I'm just going to say it. It's my new 6%. Like
Oh
4.5.
boy.
4.5.
Let's not say anything we can't take back.
I'm just saying.
4.5 is the new 6. It's a
I-
25% reduction.
I'm just saying that most of the time when I'm looking at beers nowadays, I'm like, oh, this looks really good. Whew, 6.5.
That's true. That's true.
mean,
It used to be like the standard went from 5 and it crept up to like 6. Like everything I drink is, 6 is like what I
Six.
expect.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's like, ooh, nice. We're sub 5.
Yeah.
I like that. Improve.
Yeah, if it's still tasty and sub 5, I'm not looking for alcohol content as highly anymore. I still want it because it when you take it out of the beer, it changes the flavor like almost completely.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like when I look at light beers, I'm just thinking I'm gonna get that like light beer sort of taste, which
Flavor, yeah.
sometimes is fine if you're out camping or that kind of thing,
Yeah.
but
I,
if it suits the
yeah,
situation. But when
I'll
I'm
drink a Bud Light. I'm not above a Bud Light.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah,
too
yeah.
good for anything, man.
No, no.
Uh,
That's not true. I'm too good for certain beers. Yeah.
I'm too good to play blue white in this format. That's what I'm too good
Yeah.
for.
Are you too good to drink a detour?
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not about class here. It's just
I
like
think it
I
is.
don't
The way that
like
you and
beer.
your friends talk about detour, I'm pretty sure that
But
it's
the same brewery is like my favorite, makes one of my favorite beers.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't mean that you have to hate the whole brewery, but you really don't like that recipe.
Yeah, fuck that recipe.
Yeah. It's like, you like the builder, but some of the decks that they make are not great. It's like certain ones are good, but
Yeah.
that one that
This
you
one was
did.
a rare miss.
Yeah, that's like you watching my stream
Jim.
today, being like, some of your plays were questionable.
Yeah, he
That
has a
was
YouTube video coming out. Check it
yeah,
out. But,
that was a detour from what you normally do.
I'm gonna start using that.
It's
That was a detour level play.
Ooh, that's really good. Maybe I should make a Twitch emote of that. That detour. Anyway, but
When
no.
you find a circuitous route to victory. It's like, we
Yes.
took a little bit of a detour there. Could have just won the game, but we did our best to punt it to the opponent.
Yeah,
But
we
they
decided to give
didn't
our
accept it.
opponent like 3 extra turns, but we still got there.
Yeah.
Those are my. I'm very good at that. Where afterwards, chat's like, "Lethal through this." I'm like,
Yeah. I
didn't see that. Not gonna lie.
think that's just a streamer thing. Missing lethal and having chat explain to you how you could have won sooner.
It is. That's true.
The
That is
streamer life.
Yeah, it is the streamer life, especially when we don't have to get into that. But anyway, Jeff, it's closing time. Let's wrap this puppy up. As always, you can reach us at Arena Regulars on Instagram and Blue Sky.
You may also find us on Arena itself under the username Arena Regulars Podcast.
If you want to talk to me personally, you can find me at @theregular_Zach on Instagram, TikTok. I'm also on YouTube and all the different places. I'm streaming on Twitch, blah, 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 blah. You can find me, but Jeff, where can they find you?
Best place is our Discord channel. I go by Regular Jeff in the Discord channel. Come say hi. Talk about whatever you disagreed with in this podcast, what you like in this limited format. I think one of the coolest things about this format is that it's so context dependent that everyone has a slightly different opinion of how it works. And they say numbers don't lie, but I question some of those numbers. So
All right.
come tell me that you agree that blue white is terrible. And the best thing we do there also is we do a monthly arena popper cube. It's a lot of fun.
It's a peasant cube.
Cube. And as soon as I said it, I knew I did the wrong one. It's a peasant cube, which means there are uncommons in it, but it means you don't have to use your rare or mythic wild cards. Just use a bunch of those common and uncommons that you probably have sitting around, and we do that once a month. And the link for that Discord channel is in the show notes.
That is right. Also, if you like the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a review there as well. Go to our YouTube channel. Give us a little comment. All of it's really helpful for the podcast, but ultimately, we want to hear what you think. And if you want to tell us what you think, please go to the Discord. Talk to us. Show us your trophies. We really appreciate all that stuff. It's lovely to meet all of you. This has been the Arena Regulars.
Reminding you that if you want to dominate this limited format, the Arena Regulars highly recommend forcing 5-color soup. Do it.
Don't.
We both agree. It's the best way.
We do not both agree. Whatever. Good night. All right, that's fine.